Looks like it's a bull. Good evening. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. I haven't put this camera up for a little while. It's a Robbie's live tarpon feeding camera. And if any of you South Florida folks that have been down there, you know all about this place. It's kind of one of those, you got to go see it at least once in your lifetime, especially if you live down here and you drive down there. But it's actually a place where you can feed these huge tarpon down here. They give you food over here. The tourist will typically walk over here and feed these tarpons. And occasionally you can find some videos about there of a big 6 to 8 foot tarpon engulfing somebody's arm. Just like just like these guys like to do. A little aggressive there. They know what's coming. Well, anyway, beautiful place. If you've never been down there and you're ever going to Key West, make sure you stop at Robbie's Marina here in Islamorada, Florida. Wonderful place, and wow, look, it's beautiful down there this evening too. Look at that sunset that's going on. Anyway, you can watch this camera anytime you like here at Robbie's Marina, Islamorada. And no, they don't give me a break on tarpon food when I go down there to feed the tarpons. I get charged as much as you guys. I just think it's one of those lovely South Florida places. And of course, living here in South Florida, I like to share these places with you guys that don't, and some of you that haven't been down there that do live in Florida. Get out of your house a little bit more. That's what I keep telling myself. Work less, go out and enjoy yourself more. Of course, we'd all love to do that. But hey, listen, I'm back, man. I was off all last week, had the fun show going on. It was been a busy couple months, 2 or 3 months for me. It really has. The consistency of my videos hasn't been quite what I would like it to be. Of course, I would never skip a video 5 days a week, 365 days a year, if I could get away with it. But the last couple of months have been a little tough. My consistency has sucked a little bit. If I can share that with some of you guys out there, and you regulars know what I'm talking about. Haven't been on as much as normal. A couple more shows I'm doing Lakeland, Florida, which is a big coin and collectible show, coins, paper money, bullion, that kind of stuff, jewelry as well. In Lakeland, Florida. Got another one coming up in February. And the Fun Show, which is the largest show in the state of Florida here in Orlando, comes around twice a year, I believe, in the summertime as well. All right, well, I already spoiled the screenshot and the quote for the day, which is, when they double down on their mistakes, they are not morons anymore, they are criminals. Folks, this applies to everything. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I venture to say that politicians, media, people in the business world, everyone, even with friends, family, and everything, and just across the board, everyone makes mistakes, all right? The difference between people that are stupid or people that initially do something stupid in which they made the mistake, and those that are not, is when they double down on their mistakes. And at that point, they're not morons anymore, they're just criminals, and that's exactly what we got going on in the world around us. That's how you tell. That's how you tell who the criminals are. They don't apologize, they don't fix it, they double down on it. Why? Because they're psychopaths. That's just my opinion. I'm sticking with it. Quote by me, Brian K. I do my own quotes sometime. Maybe I like to write, but I think this is absolutely true. When they double down on their mistakes, they're not morons anymore. They are criminals. This applies to everyone around us, folks. Even some people we may know personally in our lives sometimes. It's true. All right, let's take a look at spot prices here, up substantially from last week, kind of in the 1850 range. We've seen a $25 increase. I think, in fact, we even seen close to that 1890 price in gold in the last week. Again, I've been kind of away at the big coin show that I did this weekend, so I couldn't do any videos. Silver over that $24 mark at one point last week. Again, monkey hammered down. Of course, by whom? Who are all these prices made by? Of course. Of course. That's the drinking word for the night, of course. We know who it is. These prices are made in the criminal CRIMEX markets, and even when they're to the upside, it's still by criminal manipulative behavior that we see going on in the CRIMEX markets. But no less, up one day, down another day. We're not sitting at that $18, $19 silver price anymore, and platinum's getting closer to that $1,100 mark. Gold breaching that 1900, not breaching, but getting close to breaching that 1900 mark a few times in the last week and a half or so. Above 1890 for short periods of the day, never closing at that level. And it seems like the overnight markets are where the strength has been. And then in the morning, they get monkey hammered down a little bit when New York opens, and then in the afternoon they get a little bit stronger, and then on the close they get monkey hammered down. But again, there's another drinking word for you folks. Typical behavior in these criminal markets. You can, these markets are not driven by organic behavior or organic supply and demand functions. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing organic about this market. It's strictly derivatives and paper that move these markets around like we see on the short-term basis, even on the medium basis. But the long-term basis, long-term basis, it's not good for them. It's not good for these people that rig these markets can only get away with it so long. And the reason they've gotten away with it is because they've been able to pull this magic trick of not having the physical to back, like COMEX, really. What does COMEX have in their silver market? They never have to deliver on these contracts, hardly. They have been of late, but most of the time, for most of history, they never had to deliver on these contracts. All they had to do, so basically it was a naked contract. There was nothing to back up COMEX's contracts. And that's how they got in trouble back with the Hunt brothers way back then. The Hunt brothers recognized that, and they forced COMEX's hand, like they did a lot of other bullion banks. But I digress, and let's move on to what else we're going to talk about. Where this market goes from here, I can't tell you on the short term, but the physical supply out there dried up substantially, both in gold and silver. However, I have noticed that the retail physical demand has slowed up dramatically in the last month or so, and you can tell that by the premiums right now and the buy prices on the wholesale level and the sell prices. Products that were costing much more a year ago and 2 years ago now are substantially cheaper than they were. That can only tell me, again, it's the supply and physical is done by supply and demand. The COMEX paper prices are done by some bullshit shenanigans based on bullshit shenanigans. The physical markets are a whole different thing. And I can tell by the physical markets right now, with the premiums being down both on the wholesale buys and the wholesale sales, that the retail physical market has slowed down substantially. Now, is this a Christmas thing? Is this a holiday thing? I don't know. I can't tell you that for sure. I think it's just a temporary stall because of the higher prices that we have seen. Prices were down in the $18, $19 range. People liked that $18, $19 range in silver. They were willing to buy up a lot of silver, $18, $19 and $20 and $21. But when they saw prices go up to 23 and 24, I think a lot of retail buyers have kind of backed off right now. And again, you can see that in the wholesale buy and sell prices out there. I'll get into that a little bit too, what the best deals out there, because it's funny. Gold prices, silver prices, platinum prices are up substantially. Premiums are down. Just the opposite of what was happening when prices were down substantially and premiums were much higher. But that's not necessarily true, because in 2020 and 2021, we saw super high gold and silver prices and super high premiums. So, man, what a strange world we live in. I've been doing this precious metals things since I started working for my father in '77. I won't even begin to profess I was an expert back then. That's when I started. But I've not seen anything like this in my entire career in precious metals. I can see some parallels to the 80s market, to 2011-12 market, a lot of other markets, but it's just strange environment out there. And I think I can say the same thing politically and economically as well. All right, let's get into, don't want to make it a long video tonight. I'm just getting back into this, so I got to build up my strength. Great article in Zero Hedge by Ron Paul. I'm a big Ron Paul fan, voted for him way back when he got screwed out of the Republican nomination in 2008. That's how I know they cheat in elections, because both parties do it. As much, love or hate Bernie Sanders, guess what party screwed him out of the nomination, right? Can't argue that. Same thing with Ron Paul. Republican Party screwed him out of his nomination in 2008. I believe, again, in 2012, was it? Yep, 2012 as well. But let's get into Ron Paul's article and not talk about his politics, which we all know about. I like this right here. This is something we've talked about, and I've shown you this chart so many times. It doesn't tell you what the chart is right now, but if you watch my videos, most of you are probably saying it right now. I know what chart that is. But before we get started this week, Ron Paul says, I want to show you a chart. And there you go. Boom, 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 little peak there, peak upwards, and then boom, just a continuous decline. What is it, folks? Well, here's what he says. Now, if this chart showed the stock price of a company, would you want to invest in it? Hell no. If it's the price of a commodity, would you be a buyer? Hell no. What if you were already heavily invested in this enterprise? Would you hold on and hope for better days ahead, or would you look at the long downward slide, cut your losses, and just walk away? Yeah. Now, when I say long downward slide, I mean long. Here's a bit more information. The chart includes data for over a century, from 1913 to October 2022. Now, for you folks new that haven't watched my videos and haven't seen this chart 2,000 times in the last 3 years, you already know what that is. But 1913 was the start of the Federal Reserve and IRS, coincidentally. So let me get this straight. This enterprise has been nearly interrupted in decline since 1952 or thereabouts. Who in their right mind would hold on to it? True, over the last 70 years, all hope for better days ahead has probably long since faded. Well, this isn't a stock chart. It's not a commodity price. This chart shows the weakening purchase power of the U.S. dollar. And there you go. If you didn't recognize it and you have watched my videos, how many times have we looked at this chart? I haven't shown it lately in the last couple months, 3, 4 months, actually more longer than that, just because I feel like sometimes you can just overdo stuff. And there's very limited to talk about in the gold and silver precious market, you know, the precious gold and silver markets. Oh, the precious markets. But you know what you can talk about, and what we need to get out there, and what we need to continue to talk about, even though it gets boring and repetitive at times, is the manipulation in these markets and why you want to be in these markets. And this is a great example of that. Just the decline. If you put a gold chart over this, you would see that gold would slowly be working in the opposite direction, upwards. So gold and silver is a great store of value. And for a simple way of looking at it, think about what a quarter would buy when silver quarters were made, 1964 and prior. You know, in 64, 63, 62, gasoline was what, a quarter a gallon? I'm kind of throwing that out there. You can correct me in the comment section if you'd like to. Gas was a quarter gallon, and your silver quarter was basically worth just a quarter, okay? And you could buy a gallon of gas with that. Well, guess what? That silver quarter, oddly enough, can still buy a gallon of gas at $4 and $5, whatever gasoline costs in your area. That's what it is down here in South Florida. Actually, I'm on diesel fuel, so I'm about $4.50 per gallon. But that silver quarter can still buy that. Now that clad quarter couldn't buy, couldn't even get the pump to turn on. All right, so it's important to know that when you're buying gold, silver, and platinum and precious metals. This may come as a surprise considering how, and this is Ron Paul talking here. This may come as a surprise considering how I've been hearing the strength of the U.S. dollar in mainstream media reports. And we talk about that all the time. Folks, the strength does not mean the dollar is buying more. Strength means it's stronger against the other horses that are racing to the glue factory. And you know the story about the last horse to the glue factory, what that means. And that's exactly what the U.S. dollar most likely is, the last horse to the glue factory. All right? So the strength doesn't mean that you're going to buy more shit with your dollar. Think about it. A silver quarter made out of silver back in '64 would buy you a gallon of gasoline. Now that quarter wouldn't buy you. And any of you that have lived more than a few decades, if you've been on this earth for at least 3 decades, and at 3 decades you got a little bit to draw on, not much, because you know you're a young lad, young lady, whatever. You've been through most of your life not having to worry about this stuff. But if you've worked out on your own and your parents haven't taken care of you your whole life, you actually realize what the dollar buys. And this is why you're so interested in knowing about this stuff. Preservation of wealth. At the very least, that's what gold and silver and platinum are all about. Ron Paul points this out. The dollar's strong. Oh, there he goes. Kind of what I always said. Last horse to the glue factory. A strong currency is one that can buy more goods and services than currencies. That is not the case with the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is only strong in comparison to other currencies. Man, it's like, I can't say I took the words out of Ron Paul's mouth, but it's like he took the words out of my mouth, because this is what I've been talking about for a long time. And again, Ron Paul is a advocate of strong money, and that's what gold, silver, and platinum is. Great article. Highly recommend you read it. You can read it for free in Zero Hedge. Just type in Ron Paul, here's the truth about the strong U.S. dollar. I think he also has it on his via Birch Group, Gold Group, which is a company that Ron Paul's involved with, I guess, based on this, that it has to do with IRAs. And of course, I'm not a big fan of IRAs at all. Not that I'm dissing Ron Paul on this, but some people have to have IRAs. But I'm not a big fan of them for a lot of good reasons. And another good reason is if it ain't in your hands, you don't own it. Someone else could potentially own it. That includes government, IRS, you name it. All right, good article in GAT, always good articles in gata.org. Highly recommend you read this if you're new to my videos. Put this on your bookmark bar. It is suggested reading, not homework, but it is good reading out there, folks. And if you're stacking gold, silver, and platinum, you need to be, especially gold, you need to be reading this. If you're stacking silver, you need to be reading Ted Butler, wherever you can find his articles out there. You can Google it, Ted Butler, and you'll learn all about silver as well. Let me see, I'm not going to get into that, but there's something here. One of the viewers here asked me, or my listeners out there asked me, there's not much to view here, asked me about what I thought of mining stocks. But I saw this right here, and it kind of reminded me of that question. I don't know much about, I got to tell you folks, I don't know anything about mining stocks, all right? Really, compared to people that are schooled in that and do it for a living, which I don't. I'm an expert in physical precious gold and silver. I'm an expert in physical metals, buying and selling wholesale retail. That's my expertise. I am not an expert in mining, know a limited amount about it, but here's what I do know that is super important. My little bit of knowledge in mining stocks is that couple things. When you're buying mining stocks, you have to be very careful who you're buying, because one of the things is that a lot of mining companies have already pre-sold their metal, all right? They pre-sold it and they have to deliver it at a certain level. So you're not, and remember this, when you're buying a mining company, you are not buying the gold in the company. You're buying the whole company. You're buying their expenses. You're buying their CEO's salaries. You're buying the whole thing, machinery, anything that goes wrong. That's what you're buying when you're buying a mining company. You're not just buying the shiny shit that comes out of the ground. You're buying the whole frickin' company, folks. All right, so that's another thing. That gets it to a whole different realm. And again, has the company sold their gold? Do they still own their gold? What kind of success are they having with their? So there's so many things. You're buying a company on gold mining stocks. You're not buying gold itself. Apples and oranges. Physical metals versus mining stocks. Apples and frickin' oranges, totally different things. And there's nothing, I know a lot of people that made a lot of money in mining stocks, but you need to know what you're doing. And my recommendation, like I tell you with physical gold and silver, is find a guy out there in mining stocks that knows what he's doing and is willing to teach you so you can trade for yourself. What else here? The bright stuff sanctioned. Why is the bright stuff for would-be sanctioned busters? You know, they're talking about, it's like mainstream corporate media out there, and a lot of these writers out here are just now starting to figure, Financial Times, of course, right, are just starting to figure out that, oh, look, the Chinese and the Russians don't want dollars anymore, and other countries don't want dollars. This is like news to these people, folks. It really is, especially Financial Times. And it's like Bloomberg and Wall Street Journal, completely fucking clueless when it comes to metals and probably a lot of other things. Look, all of a sudden they're like, oh, all these countries, now they're either A, stupid, and it hasn't occurred to them, which I don't know how that is. How would it occur to a guy like me a decade ago that this was happening and it's just occurring to them? Or they're just plain, well, here's what it really is. When it comes to these big media companies out there, there's no independent reporting. The only reporting that gets done is what the owners of the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Financial Times, CNBC, MSNBC, the only thing that gets out to the public's ears is what the owners want to. And a lot of people say, well, yeah, but this guy's good, that guy. No, the only reason that guy works there is because he's tolerable and he makes money and he does what they want him to do. That's it. All right, let me move into, wow, a lot of good stuff to read here. Best deal out there, folks. And most of you can fast forward to this. If you listen to my best deal for the last, oh my gosh, couple weeks at least, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, then you can just fast forward until you see the screen gone, and we'll get into comments here. All right, anyways, the best deals out there still in silver are still 100-ounce bars. You should be paying no more than spot plus 250 for them. Kilo bars, you should be paying no more than spot plus 250 for them. 1-ounce bars, you should be paying no more than spot plus think I almost forgot here. 1 second, 3 1/4, something like that. I did forget, sorry about that. 10-ounce bars, spot plus 3 1/4. You should be paying no more than spot plus 3 1/4 for 10-ounce bars. 1-ounce bars I may be wrong on, but no less. There's what you should be paying, no more. If you're still stuck on buying constitutional 90% silver, premiums on the buy side and the sell side on the wholesale level, which I watch all the time, I'm involved with, are down as well. You can buy 90% constitutional silver and you should be paying no more than spot plus $4 at the most. And if you find the right dealer out there, you can get it for spot plus 3 if they have excess in on hand. Again, because the spreads are so wide, even on the wholesale level. But still, better deals than 90%. At spot plus $4 would be buying kilo bars, 100-ounce bars, and 10-ounce bars. Trust me, way better deal. As far as gold goes, show you a picture of a 100-ounce bar in case you've never seen one. Sorry. Kilo bars. Oh, people always ask me, what kilo bars? How many ounces are in a kilo? 32.15 troy. Don't forget that. 32.15 ounces troy in a kilo bar, okay? That's what kilo bars look like. Again, spot plus 250, no more. Now, will this premium change? Maybe by tomorrow, maybe up or down. I doubt down anymore. I think these premiums are as low as you're going to see them for a long time, and still they start to drift upwards, like I think precious metal prices will as well. Best deal out there in bars. It will not be kilo gold bars, because I wouldn't advise anyone, unless you are a whale buying millions and millions of dollars worth of gold, to buy kilo bars. If you're not millions and millions of dollars worth of gold that you're going to buy, stay away from kilo bars. What are the best deal out there? 1-ounce gold bars for sure. Spot plus $70, no more than that. You should not be paying more than $70 over. I'm not a big fan of APMEX bars, or the companies that put their name on there, because why do I want to sell someone else's billboard? You know what I mean? But I am a big fan of Alcombis, Johnson Matthey's, when you can get them, Perth Mint, and all those other good mints as well. Republics, yeah, I mean, I'll buy and sell them. Valcombi, I love Valcombi. They're a great company. Again, no more than spot plus $70 on those. I believe Krugerrands, elephants, South African elephants, I think I still can get those things. Those are awesome. They're made by the same people that make Krugerrands, and they're $5 a coin cheaper. South African 1 ounce, okay, here I can't type anymore. Elefantes, I'm going to spell it Elefantes too. Excuse me. There you go. I think they're spot plus 85 or $90. Now, don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but you should not be paying more than spot plus $90 on these. Maybe 95. Okay. I didn't bring my sheet with me. Krugerrands under $100 as well. Don't pay more than $100 premium on Krugerrands. More than likely in that $90 range. Maple Leafs maybe a little bit higher. Spot plus $100 or something like that. Spot plus $95. But don't pay more than that as well. Eagles, I think, have come down. They're still like plus 110, 115. I mean, if you're dying to own a gold eagle, even though I still think they're a little pricey, they are certainly not as pricey as they were when they were spot plus 2 1/4. They're almost half their premium when they were at an all-time high, and that's for 1 ounce gold eagles, not Elefantes. 1 ounce, hang on a second here, 1 ounce gold eaglets, eagles, all right. Spot plus 112, 115, I think it is in that range right now. Again, cheapest they've been in years and years and years. I think that retail buyers have backed off just because the prices of spot have gone up dramatically, and they're waiting to see where things are going. What I have typically seen every time this happens, as soon as prices start moving up highward, northward in a substantial manner, the buyers start coming out of the woodwork, premiums start to go up again. That's just my opinion, and I'm sticking with it. All right, I'm going to get into
amazing truck. My car insurance company was totally ripping me off for it until I found it.
There we go. I'm too cheap to get Google Pro or whatever it is. I mean, Facebook Pro or Facebook, YouTube Pro. All right, this is my video for last week before I left. Like to go over the comments from last week's video. Going to go to the bottom. Close your eyes if you get dizzy, because I do. There we go. Motion sickness. Christopher says, getting man crush on Ted Butler. I don't blame you at all. If you're a silver stacker, you should have a huge, I was going to say, all right, it's going to get a little bit crazy there. But yeah, absolutely a man crush on Ted Butler, man. Give that guy a few strokes, Mr. Butler, because he's certainly given us a lot of great information. Good to you. Second there, Tim Gibson. Nice to see you, as always. JTBSK2 says gold and silver physical only. Absolutely. Michael Matthews. cheers to you, my friend. Christopher Ward says, because silver is a dud. That's all right, Christopher. I'd like to get a chance to talk to you, but that's all you wrote. Silver's a dud. Why is silver a dud? You can't even go into that a little bit. That's like, all right. Anyways, hey, listen. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, even Christopher. Alex W says, thoughts on pre-33 gold? Are there benefits? There's benefits maybe in a few different ways. If you're going to sell a larger quantity of, if maybe tax reporting, but you still have to report the tax on those right there. But I don't think 33 Saints are any better than Gold Eagles. Gold Eagles are a better deal, and I don't think they're a great deal. So pre-33 gold, no, not at all. As far as the confiscation issue, which is brought up by a lot of people that's bullshit. They're not going to confiscate your gold, folks, or your silver coins. It's just not going to happen, no matter what you buy. So the idea of buying pre-33 gold because the government won't confiscate it, that's just the nonsense bullshit pushed by people that want to sell you overpriced pre-33 gold because the premiums are really high on that stuff, and they can make more money on it. So no good reason to buy pre-33 gold if you're a gold and silver stacker, other than you just like paying too much. The only good reason to buy pre-33 gold is because you are a collector. And if you're a collector and you're very specific on the type of stuff you're buying, it can be a lot of fun, because again, collecting is a different thing than stacking. Stacking can be fun too, but collecting is all about the hobby, enjoying yourself. If you make money, great. If you don't, you're supposed to enjoy yourself. Fortunately, I have found that most collectors, when people seriously get into the hobby of coin collecting, they've made their mistakes, and they listen to good people and folks like me on how to do it properly, they end up doing well buying gold and collectibles and that kind of thing. But again, if you don't know what you're doing, you're just going to really not help yourself at all. Welco Services, be well to you. Silver Liner says, my lucky number 13, I woke up in the middle of the night last night and saw manipulation live. Yeah, it happens all over the place, Silver Liner. I watched it. Man, I've been watching it forever. Even before I knew that it was really happening, and I thought I was just entertaining conspiracist thoughts. 69 Triple X says, goodbye to you. No, I'll just hide them from you. You know what? When you hide users from channel, you know what that means? Is you can't see their shit anymore, and they think that they're posting out there for everyone to see, and they just waste their time. Always do that to spammers like that, crypto spammers, and the sex sites. Let them post all they want. It's a waste of their time, not mine. But no one's going to see it now. Helen Kessler says, when I live there, I get a really Jamocha Seik whipper. Oh, that sounds good, actually. I could use one of those right now. Thank you very much, Helen. Appreciate it. I hope you have yourself a good evening. Thanks for subscribing and hitting that bell to let you know when my new videos come up, folks. And again, I hope to get more consistent. No shows coming up till February when the Lakeland show comes up in mid-February. And I hope if you get a chance, make sure you come and see me in Lakeland at the Lakeland Coin Show. And boy, I'm going to get a chance to plug that real quick, too. The Collector Rama Show, there we go. Connection comes up right there. I'll be at the Lakeland Collectorama Show in Lakeland, Florida at February 16th to 18th to meet any of you folks that like to come down and visit. Great coin and currency show, and also a bullion show as well, and jewelry and collectibles, as you can see, antique firearms and all kinds of cool stuff. Believe it or not, not believe it or not, but this is a show that I run, recently inherited from my father who passed away. And yeah, I just got another full-time job, folks. So, but I like it, I love it, and I think it's a great legacy and something I'd like to continue doing. So please come and meet me and all my dealer friends in the Lakeland Collectorama Show, February 16th to the 18th. 2023. Oh, I sound like Elmer Fudd or somebody, right? 2023. Daisy says, going to see Awakening for Gold and Silver soon. Absolutely, Daisy. I agree with you 100%. I think we're going to see the next leg up, and then it'll back off a little bit. But, you know, what I don't like is I don't like when it just goes straight up for a long period of time. I like these little chunky moves, like a little bit up, a little bit back, a little bit up, a little bit back, but overall upward. And that's also a sign to me that comics has kind of got things under control, but not really. Rather than when you see markets just rocket upward, you know something's going to happen. They're going to get monkey hammered again quickly and fast. I don't like those fast, you know, those quick moves up and then monkey hammered down by the criminals. Let's see here. What else is going on? When central banks go crypto, gold will be a way to hold value, and the American dollar value has dropped. Just need a good disaster to make the move to crypto. And about just need a good disaster to make the move to crypto. I'm not a big fan of crypto, and I'm not quite sure. I just don't believe in crypto. I just think it's another fiat purpose, in my opinion. Gold has been around for 5,000 years. It's made by stars, not made by some guy named Satoshi. Thank you for commenting repurposed art. Appreciate it. Liquid Electrum says, I'll find your booth of fun, meet you. I'll be there 3. Did you come and meet me, man? I don't know if you did. You probably did. My brain is like 6 different places here, Liquid Electrum. And maybe I know who you are. I'm not quite sure. A couple of you guys met me at the fun show this last weekend and introduced yourself. I just can't connect the names and the names that you have here. Zane says, Brian. Okay, Zane. Exclamation, exclamation. Thanks, dude. What's up? Jake Crash, what's going on? Thumbs up to you as well, sir. 7779 driver says, I'm one of them calling for the Gold Rooster. I do hope to see you this week. I can get you a rooster. No big deal there. Appreciate that. Stay calm. Keep stacking. Exactly, Paul. Cluss says, I meant to buy 10 ounces of silver at a sale. Decided to make it 20. Good for you, dude. Keep stacking, brother. Alley Cat says, silver catching on fire, Brian. It will. But again, I like these little short moves up. 6 steps, a couple steps up, 3 up, 4 up. 2 back is good with me. 3 back is good with me as long as we're in that upward moving direction. I know that they're losing control. Not losing control. They're making money to the upside too. But ultimately, we have to see upside prices here for all of us to be well with this. Russell King says they are called the titmouse. There's a book in UK about these species called British titmouses. You see in the UK, tits are covered with brightly colored feathers. Yes, I wasn't saying anything rude and out of place, and just to prove that, titmouses, okay? I made the comment out there, and people thought I had a dirty mind, but there's titmouses right there. That's a titmouse. When I said that I made a comment that useless as tits on a log, and this is what I was referring to, titmouses on a log, folks. Some of you have really dirty minds. My mind didn't even go that way. Well, okay, maybe it did. All right. Thank you, Russell. Appreciate that. CRB says premium went down in relation to spot going with the price of physical silver has been pretty consistent rather than the last minute. Yeah, absolutely. You can't say that about the stock market. You can't say that about the crypto market. You can't say that about even the upcoming real estate market. Seems like it's getting weak. Cars have gotten weak out there. Even Rolexes have come down in price. And gold hanging on to itself and moving upward overall. The Crimex hit today was off to the races. Absolutely, Matthew Burns. Thanks for watching. Tom Theris, because I can. Tom, I don't know what you're referring to in my video, but I agree. You can. We can. I don't like the we can, but you can. I like individual I cans, not we cans. I do it on myself, man. I'm an independent kind of guy, so I'm an I can guy, not a we can guy. You can tell it's been a long day. George Montgomery says, you are a bullion dealer. It doesn't matter whose name is on the product as long as you recognize it legitimate. No, it doesn't matter to me. But I think you're referring to when I say I don't like dealing with stuff that has APMEX, SD, or JM Bullion's address and phone number and website on it. You know why? Because I'm not here to advertise their business. Why would I sell that to a new customer and the new customer gets gold from me and it says APMEX, call apmex.com. I mean, I know it's an ego trip for these companies to do that, but what's the fucking point, really? Uh-oh, F word. Thanks, George. Appreciate it. And I said you can beat in price. You have an opportunity to prove it. Don't pass on these easy opportunities. I don't. I do sell their product. I sell APMEX product, SD and JM. Whenever anything has their names on it, and other companies, regardless. If they're a refiner, I'm cool with it. But if they're a company selling and buying gold and silver, and they got their name on gold and silver bars, I do a couple things. I discount them heavily and sell them to other dealers. I discount them heavily and melt them. Kick them around on the floor a little bit. No, I'm just teasing. Thank you, George. Christina says, I think she was right about platinum. I believe you're right about that. She was right about platinum, but who do you think gave her the advice? I put it out there and let her come up with it like it was her own idea. That was a bad thing to say. It's true, though. Clayton says, the digital dollar is digital collar. Put on your collar will teach you how to heal. Well, yeah, dude. I mean, no argument about that. We are living in times of where they're doubling down on their stupid. And again, like I said at the beginning of this video, doubling down on stupid is not just morons. That's criminal. When you start doubling down on your stupid, it's criminal. Let's see what's going on here. And where else do we go? Kyle in PA says, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to you, Kyle. I know being a bullion dealer, you only recommend physical metal, but I'd like to hear your opinion on holding some shares of mining companies like Barrick Gold. Man, you know, I got to that question a little bit earlier. Someone else asked me that, Kyle. I don't know. Don't know. Not the guy to ask, and I'd be a liar if I gave you any advice on that, other than remember, you're not buying gold and silver. You are buying a company. Never forget that. And you're buying how good that company is run, how bad that company is run, how efficient or not efficient that company is run, and any bad luck that may happen to that company. That's what you're buying when you're buying gold stocks. You're not buying gold and silver. Thanks for watching, Kyle. Appreciate that. Philip stands talk more about buying, collecting rare coins as an investment. Stacking is cool, but coin collecting is cool. I agree 100%, Philip. Love coin collecting, but it's apples and oranges. You collect coins not for investment purposes. I don't believe that at all. Same as I don't believe in art as investment purposes, because people's taste in things change over time. So does what they want to collect. I believe the first thing you should do is collect as a collector out of the enjoyment of collecting a piece of artwork, a piece of history. If you do that, coin collecting is freaking awesome. And the people that get into coin collecting, oftentimes after they learn from their mistakes and listen to good dealers like myself, start to actually make money and have the potential to make money because they make the right decisions. You don't buy coins just to buy coins unless you got to be a hobbyist on that. Thanks, Philip. I agree with you 100%. Gold beating out gold more today. Absolutely buy stocks. Chris says, why is everyone buying gold? Simple. Rich people buy gold and everyday blue-collar people buy silver. That probably goes back to Roman times when the rich were paid in gold and the poor were paid in silver and copper. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. Joe McDonald, keeper of the season case. Philip, man, I lost who Philip was. Thanks for watching. Show Pro, what's up? My favorite guy from up north, the northeast segment of the world. Moved down here, by the way, loves Florida. You know, I'd call him a Floridian now, actually. If memory serves me correctly, Rick Rule, formerly of Sprott, recently said about 40 years ago, approximately 1.5% of American investors said held physical metals in Alabama at 0.5. He speculated on what the markets would look like if we returned to the original numbers of the market. Absolutely, yeah, I agree with that 100%. Couldn't argue with that at all. 100% Show Pro. That if even a small segment of the country moves into precious metals, the prices will skyrocket without a doubt. And that's the importance of us getting good information out there, letting people, and that's even letting them know that these markets are manipulated, but they can't control that manipulation for a long period. And that gets hard to explain to some people, but probably best just to tell them to keep stacking gold and silver, and we'll worry about that. Mr. Frisky says the premiums that refineries and pawn shops are expecting dealers to resell don't work anymore. Lucky if I can make any money on this stuff. Yeah, it's the premiums are really, the spreads have tightened up a lot. Premiums are down substantially. And in fact, some stuff is, dealers are paying spot for, which is unheard of. Wholesale prices, when Eagles are like $45 over on the wholesale buy price, or something like that, or 45 or $50 in the wholesale price, that tells me that the organic market, which is the supply and demand for real physical metals, is drifted downward a little bit here. And that, again, in my opinion, is because of higher spot prices that we've seen, and I think a lot of buyers are waiting to see what happened. Hey, that's it, folks. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Call me anytime between 10 and 4 Mondays through Fridays if you're buying anywhere from $1 worth of gold, silver, and platinum to millions of dollars worth of gold, silver, and platinum. I can beat the locals down here in South Florida. I can also beat Atmex, SD, and JM Bullion on their commonly reasonably priced products for you stackers out there. We also do rare coins, as you know, too, and paper money and other good stuff as well. If you don't live in South Florida and you can't visit our brick and mortar store here at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals, and you're buying more than 100 ounces of gold, more than 1,500 ounces of silver, you can also call me at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. I've got a couple special service for you guys called conciergebullion.com. But yes, I know I still have it. And well, that's it, folks. I got to eat something here. I'm tired and ready to call it quits. Thanks for watching. Get a video out tomorrow for you for sure, because I am not doing any shows, and hopefully I'll have a nice, clean, easy day. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice, clean, easy day too as well, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.